We are very excited because for Parents and Baby Brunch today, we are chatting to Chad Saaiman. Say hi.
Good afternoon.
I'm singing a note because that's what you...
Say hi. I heard that. That was fantastic.
I know, thank you.
Very musical.
Chad, I cannot believe.
Yeah.
You know, we had to come all the way to Cape Town to see you. We are very proud of you. And by we, I mean Ian and I. My husband adores Chad. And when I said to Ian that we have an opportunity to film in Cape Town, he was like, you have to chat to Chad.
Oh.
I always say, where are you and how are you now?
Okay.
Because the other day, I was at a function and I was wearing my lanyard and someone picked up my lanyard and said, hey, Alana Africa. Oh, I know who you are. Gsh.
Oh.
Without an opportunity to say who I am right now and how I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I, even though I've known you for years, want to say, hey, Chad, how are you and who are you?
Well, right now, there's a lot of things happening across work, across personal life, but I'm extremely blessed across all of them. And in terms of work, musician, entertainment personality, radio presenter, songwriter, singer, and so forth. And then across personal life, father of one, soon to be father of three. So we have twins on the way. Yeah.
Come on, team. Can we just hear you?
Clap for myself as well.
Chad Saaiman recently told us that they are expecting twins. And his beautiful wife is waiting patiently because there's only a few weeks to go.
Yeah.
I also have to say this, because we shoot out of sequence, chances are by the time we broadcast this episode, the babies would have been born. So from all of us, we want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
We want to also say that, you know, birth is a beautiful thing, Chad. We don't take every moment lightly where we are able to open our eyes. And the fact that we could open our eyes today here as a team is not just a birthday, but it is an opportunity for us to do good. So we want to wish you blessings and wealth and good health for the small babies, for your beautiful wife, for you and your other daughter, your firstborn.
Yes.
And so we say congratulations.
Thank you.
There's been a lot of movement and things happening for you. I mean, the radio show is your latest addition to your flourishing career.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because you've been through so many changes.
I have. I firstly only got into radio about 4.5 years ago. I got an opportunity. You know, there's always a maverick that has an idea, gives you a call, says, Chad, come through to a meeting. I have this idea. And you go through, and at first I was thinking about, you know, what are some of the things I would lose by joining a station. Obviously, as a musician, your music belongs to everyone. But the moment you join a station as a presenter, there's a sense of like, now you belong to that station, right? Which, you know, I obviously have my opinions about, because I believe music is separate to presenting. Either way, I joined a Good Hope FM, and it's just been so incredible. I now co-host 12 to 3 p.m. with Carissa Kibido. It's called The Lunch Club, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
There's a lot of dads on our channel. They watch us on our podcast. They have the opportunity to listen to Baby Brunch, and you're a walking inspiration. I almost feel like you're a walking miracle, because you do so much, and over the years you've inspired so many people. I like the fact that you never started out, you know, as a teen going, I'm going to sing. No. You know, even in your 20s, late 20s, you never went, I'm going to become a radio presenter.
No.
You know, and even with your corporate gigs, and when I see you perform, I know that back then you never thought that you'd be able to be on stage to do what you do. Yeah. What keeps you going and reinventing every single time?
I think if I take it back, and I think to my mother. So my mother was walking excellence.
Wow.
So no matter what she did, whether it was working in retail or going to study theology or selling perfume or selling, she always came home with trophies. So we would see her come home with the best salesperson for perfume.
Wow.
The best retail store, best sales. Like everything she did, she'd come home with trophies. So she had a trophy cabinet. And even though it wasn't about accolades, we just realized that okay, whatever we do and decide to do, we have to be the best at it. So I think when excellence becomes part of your
Language.
your language and
Yeah.
your day to day, whatever you tackle, you do it as best as possible. And that's how I guess I keep moving forward, because excellence also is contagious across different parts of your career, right? So you become excellent in one thing, and then all of a sudden it bleeds over. Okay, cool. We in the black ties, and we're gonna move within corporate and private shows, and then we become excellent at that, and we get better and better, and then it bleeds through to the next thing. And I always joke with the guys, whenever we see Lana, we know we're doing well. Whenever we see her at a corporate,
when they see me at a corporate gig,
I say, guys, we're doing well.
Why is that?
Because you have the exact same thing, excellence, across all the different things you do across your entire career. And to be able to be consistently excellent for such a long time.
It takes practice, and
practice.
it takes grace, and like you say, it takes mentorship. It's interesting that you refer to your mother. You know that's my dad for me, right?
Yeah,
like
I do know that.
I look at my daddy and I just see how well he does. Like even when he gives with conviction, and he gives with everything that he has, And I'm not saying that this is fact, but I believe the reason my dad has such a wonderful life, like he's 81 this year, and he's got a flourishing, beautiful life. And I think it's because he spent a lot of his time giving to other people.
Yeah.
And I almost think that welfare extended his life, like the fact that he was excellent at a lot of things, but that he gave to so many people. If you had to take this narrative of the accolade, and what your mom has, God bless her, has instilled in your life, if you had to give yourself a trophy for any of the things that you have done in your career or in life, what would it be for?
Wow. I've never thought of that, because I don't think of, what's coming my way beyond the things that I'm doing.
Right now.
Because with everything that we do, we give. So you sing a song, you give the song. You go on air, you give. Whatever it may be, you're always giving. And I'd probably want to take it outside of work and focus more on family. When my first daughter was born, Summer, you're figuring things out, and you grow and you grow. And I think when we have a conversation at this phase, it's very easy for people to think that you have things figured out, but the truth is you actually didn't, and you're still figuring things out. You just get better at it. So for me, I think I would love to say, as a father, as a husband, husband is like a year and a half old. I really like that. I would love a trophy for that. Try my best. But like I said, we just do it. We don't always think about what we get in return. And when you only give and don't think about receiving, I think that is what you're saying about your dad as well. You're blessed.
When we have our medical podcast, it's always interesting. We think of a diagnosis, and then we always say, so at what age?
Yeah.
So you look at the age, and you say, oh, okay, so at this age, this is the symptom, or at this age, this is what happens. Yeah. At which age were you when you knew it was going to be okay? At which age were you when you knew you wanted to be a dad? At which age
did I know?
Did you know that no matter what you do, that you're figuring it out? There's a lot of us that just feels like, do I need to? Do I have to? I don't know. And I don't have it all figured out.
I think, another lesson I've learned is that the timeline of life and what we grew up with socially, you would have to do this at this time and get married at this age, and because we saw our parents, our aunties, our uncles do that. Milestones. But that's not the reality of the situation. I knew I wanted to be a dad when I heard that I was going to have a kid. Before I heard that I was going to have a kid, I didn't think I was ready to be a dad. And it happened. And then I got ready, and it was the biggest blessing of my entire life. Yeah. So it is now with the twins, I'm wiser, I'm calmer. I try and stay fit, because I know, people always say, Chad, why do you like I do half marathons, I play football, you know, I'm still quite active. And they say, Chad, well, why are you running? My daughter, summer will be like, why are you doing so much, Dad? I said, well, it's to win the parent race at school. I had a working
Olympian.
There's only one race you need to win as an athlete for me
And that's
personally.
the parent-teacher
It's the
race.
parent-teacher race.
Do you know that I always come last? And I'm a runner. No, I am a runner, Chad, and I'm always last at the parent. Do you know that the one year we did an egg race? I met the teacher the other day that did the egg race with me, and she was like, you guys didn't win. And I was like, yeah, you're right, we didn't win, but I'm winning at life, man. You take that. I was like, I don't need to carry an egg, okay?
Yeah, so that's my, I mean, it's a joke, but I always...
I know, I didn't catch it, because there's so much hurt that I carry.
What I'm trying to say is, like, longevity and looking forward, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when I started on the radio, I actually got a message or a call from Ian.
My husband, Ian.
Yeah, that Ian. And he said, Chad, I'm so happy for you. You just bought yourself an extra 10 plus years in the industry.
Sure.
And he was saying, not that you needed it, but that's what you bought yourself. And it only occurred to me that, you know, what he was saying, he was talking about longevity and just, you know, still being able to deliver entertainment. You know, I still enjoy being on stage. You know, I'm in a party band as well, the Black Ties, and we have a lot of fun.
So there's two other handsome guys that join, and then they do harmonizing, and they wear, and the ladies lose their flowers, you know. I mean, panties. No, I don't want to say that either. They just go mad. I once saw a lady throw her underwear at a corporate event on stage for the Black Ties, and Chad is one of the men who sings in this voluptuous band.
I just went to work that day, and you never know what lies around the corner.
I mean, they have all their clothes on, and women just take it off.
I mean, I think there's something about
seeing men sing.
men in suits, performing.
Walking slowly.
Yeah, and just enjoying
Harmonizing.
it and singing, and just, you know, we're very blessed to have had. I mean, by the end of 2026, we'll be celebrating 20 years of the Black Ties.
I know this because when the Black Ties started out, they were the Black Ties. And then the one year we were joking about the fact that all of us have been in entertainment for longer than 25 years. Yeah. And I was like, we need to change your name. And one of the guys popped up and he was like, I think we should call ourselves the Old Ties. The Black Ties has officially changed their name to the Black Tie, to the Old Ties. Yeah. I want to tie in something about longevity because I want to bless you and every father who is doing it and trying their best. I saw you at that half marathon when I ran past you. Sorry, when you ran past me.
I mean, it's neither you or who's checking?
Everyone's running their own race. But on a serious note and a very beautiful one, I love the fact that you are working on longevity, and it's not just for yourself, but that of your family. And when Ian phoned you with that call that said that you just bought yourself 10 more years, you know what, Chad? It's the choices that you, and I'm referring to my team in here as well, it's the choices that you make as a husband. It's the choices that you make as the father of our children. We are so proud of you. It's the choices that you make that, you know, all we want is a new kitchen. Yeah. And then you go, maybe we need school fees, you know. Yeah. It's the choices that you make to stay healthy, you know. I'm talking everything from top to bottom. Yeah. Well, and I don't know why I'm getting so emotional, but it's the choices you make that also makes us feel like we can do, you know. So we need you to do that. We need you to reinvent. We need you to work on body and mind and something that's very hard for men to do. We need you to work on mental health and on your soul, because then we can do better. We had a beautiful conversation before you arrived today where I shared with the coach that was sitting here, and we were talking about menopause of all things. And I mean, you're at the beginning of this beautiful journey, but later on we meet menopause. And we were talking about how sometimes as women we're afraid to show up. Yeah. And how our men do the research, you know, our bays, they do the research and then they support us. Yeah. So we want to say thank you for trying to stay healthy. Oh, thank you for making decisions. And when someone presents, I know that you have had offers in your life as a musician, as a radio show host, as a songwriter, where someone presented something to you and you said, this is crap, I'm not doing it. Yeah. Do you want to share? You don't have to tell us where.
I think as we grow older, we start to understand, to be able to take care of the family, and that's not just the kids, it's parents, it's siblings, whatever else. To be able to take care of the village, we need to make decisions that make sense, and understanding our worth, which is something that when you start out, you do anything. You start out, you performing everywhere.
Yeah, you do anything in order to make sure that you can win for your family.
And then you start to realize that there's a way to do that with also understanding your worth. And I'm a very firm believer when something is not meant for you, there's a way that you will see, and I'm fortunate that I can sometimes predict and see it beforehand, because I said no to some things and it led to bigger yeses, and then you think back like, wow, I said no because I knew I needed to stand firm. Where some people would have been like, let me take the little thing because every little helps. But I think as you grow along in your career, you start to understand worth. Yeah.
Women always say we feel it in our gut. Where do men feel it?
Well, I can't use my gut because I don't do well with gluten, firstly. And secondly, I think we have instinct, I'm allowed a dad joke here and there, so.
That one sucked so bad.
Actually, on air, on my show, on the Lunch Club, with my team, I'm allowed one dad joke per show.
Just one?
It's hard.
Because so far in this podcast, you've cracked so many. I even missed one.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so bad.
I can tell you there are people in the room giggling, just so you know.
Not hard enough. I mean.
So for me, I think, we have instinct, but you guys have more. I think when I think of my mom, I think of my wife. I think, when I'm really stuck with something, I go to my wife, I say, listen, there's this little thing in my head. And I'm quite clinical with decisions, but now and then I'm stuck with something. And I haven't even finished what I'm saying. She's like, the first one. Okay. Then I'll be like, you're right. Yeah, okay, that's the one.
But it's also wonderful to make a decision with partner, right?
Yeah.
Like I consult my husband about everything.
Yeah, but you guys are also, I guess, in similar industries.
Right.
I throw things at her if I'm stuck, but for the most part, I have an idea. My wife is in a different field, but is also very musical because of upbringing and church, and also understands entertainment. And she's quite creative for someone who's not in a creative industry. And I appreciate everything.
How much input should a partner have in the decisions that you make?
I think it depends on what the decision is. If it's something that is for the family, I think it needs to be discussed. Yeah. If it's like a personal, should I join the football club this season? I guess that's also for the family because that's time. Just so many things are connected. But I think, we can't always take 100% of everything to each other because there's not enough time to be able to always run through everything. If it's for our mental wellness, if it's for the happiness and the success of the family, then we talk about it.
I once came home with a TV and Ian told me to take it back. Oh. The kids said no. They were like, keep the TV.
Did you buy it?
Yes, I bought it with my own money. Okay. And then he said, why did you buy a TV? And I said, well, I was broadcasting next to this place and it was on special, so I brought it home. And he said, for which room is it? And I said, for the bedroom. And then we took it upstairs and it didn't fit.
And you took it back?
No.
Okay.
It's standing outside in the bra area.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. TV in the bra area.
It's an outside TV now.
I think TVs find themselves, everyone finds themselves.
It's a sport TV.
It's a sport TV, okay.
And he watches it.
Okay. You won, Ilana.
Thank you.
You won.
You see? Do you ever wonder what would it have been like if you followed the desires and the dreams of your parents for your own life, where you would have been? My dad has this desire that I need to be a manager. So every time in radio, when I say to him, Dad, my show is doing really well, he says to me, still today, he says to me, wow, does that mean you're going to become a manager? And I'm like, No, I don't want to be a manager.
I don't want to be a manager.
You know, so
Yeah.
so when you look at your parents and the dreams and the desires, your mom with the dream of you becoming this affluent sportsman and tennis player, or playing many instruments, you know, the violin. Our parents had desires for us. What do you think would have become of you?
I think if my dad's initial desire came into fruition, I would have been a professional footballer. By now, I would have retired, and hopefully have used my money accordingly to have other businesses. For my mom, initially she said violin, piano, tennis. But irrespectively, when I came home and I said I want to be a singer, actually there was a conversation where I told my dad, I'm quitting football.
Wow.
So I was good at it, but at the time I wasn't good enough. At that very point where I needed to make the decision to go professionally, and I chose music, and my dad said, okay, cool, well, you know, you have to go study something to fall back on.
Right,
It was
of
always
course.
that, remember?
We all had to fall back on
to
something.
fall back on
Yeah.
something, and I went to university and I studied English literature and communications.
Did you finish?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just said I need to get through this because I was also singing 6 nights a week and studying 5 days in the week. You know, you're starting out, you're singing at the bars and the places and the theaters.
Did you ever busk? Were you on the streets?
No. I never busked. Yeah, I never busked. I just did theater, like in terms of, you know, review shows. You would do the 80s, or you would do Motown.
Did you do cabaret?
Yeah, I guess it was cabaret. Yeah, it was cabaret. And I would be studying during the day, still trying to fit football in, and eventually graduated. And I graduated in March, and in May I was gone, and I went to sing in Mallorca for 6 months.
Really?
Mallorca
of all places.
There was South Africans going over for contracts over there, and I went through for 6 months. First time overseas, the age of, I think I was 21, and that was life changing, because in Spain they have siesta, where everyone goes to sleep for 2 hours during the day. So in that 2 hours, I would go research music, because I knew I wanted to make my own music. Because I looked around me and there were always better singers, and I said, okay, what's going to be the thing that's going to separate me? And I said, I want to write songs and be an artist. I spent 2 hours every day just researching and learning, because I wanted to be excellent at it.
Consistency is key, and I think it's so wonderful that one can use that in any business analogy. Yeah. You know, I love the habit of like delving in and trying to be consistent. Do you think it paid off? Like the habit of telling yourself that for 2 hours every single day you're going to research music?
Yeah, I took it all from the fundamentals of football, of soccer. Everything I've implemented throughout my career in entertainment, I took from. So when you play a soccer match as a kid on a Saturday morning, on a Friday night, I would put nugget on my boots and let it marinate till
the next day, yeah.
I would prepare my clothes. I'd get there early. I'd be punctual.
Wow.
I would warm up. I would deliver on the pitch. I would warm down. I'd ask how else I could help after the game.
You would pick up balls?
Pick up balls. I'd help out, and I would prepare. And with soccer growing up, I would do it all the time, before school, at school. I'd do my homework and then go play. So those fundamentals I took into music, and also looked around and said, how am I going to outwork everyone on the pitch at soccer? And then I took it into music. I was behind, because technically I started singing at 16, which a little late, you would think. You know, usually you'd find, especially people singing in R&B and soulful genres, they'd be singing at church. There's no video of me singing as a kid, you know. So I think consistency and learning lessons from sport, I took it into entertainment, and it's worked.
Many, many years ago, when this podcast started out, before we had a team and cameramen and people, it was just a podcast, it wasn't a vodcast. We did an episode on twins, and that was actually the last one. You know, I would interview my friends and they would come and tell stories on Parents in Baby Brunch. What's it like knowing that 2 babies are on the way?
It's, you know, there's a fine line between excitement and the sense of the unknown. Because the unknown isn't always exciting. Sometimes the unknown is like wow. But I think being in the industry that we're in, there are so many blind spots and corners that we've had to navigate that now it's exciting because who knows what lies around the corner. And I ask a lot of questions, you know, before we started filming now. I'm always wanting to learn and just learn more about people and what they do and how they navigate things. And I met a twin dad earlier. That was so exciting.
Hi, twin dad.
Hi, twin dad. And that was so exciting because someone who is 8 years ahead, you know,
can give advice and just have that conversation.
and it's just, and if you learn one thing from every conversation, you will go far because you'll continue to fill your cup and also give if someone asks, you know. So I'm excited about it. We are excited about it. The day we found out, you know, they do the scan for the one baby. And, you know, I will...
Wait, before you tell, did you know you were pregnant when you went for the scan?
Yes.
Okay, so you knew that something's up, we expecting a baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, your space is an open space where we want people to be able to relate to the stories. And so we actually fell pregnant earlier in the year and we lost the baby. Okay. So that had happened in pretty much Feb.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And, you know, for me, I think I navigated it okay, but the saddest thing was seeing my wife be the saddest that she had ever been in her life. Yeah. You know, and that was hard to get through. But God came through and said, you know what? You don't have history of twins in your families. So we go for we're pregnant again, we go for the scan, we're excited. And as the gynae goes across, she says, oh, wow, there's baby. And she goes across and she says, oh, there's another. And we just burst out laughing.
I was hoping you'd say bursting into tears because I'm sitting here tearing up. You burst out laughing?
Sometimes you laugh
because you're nervous?
Because you're nervous, and based on what we had gone through, and this is actually not something we really have spoken about. That's why I'm glad I could share this with you. You know, God came through and said, you know, you went through that, but here's a double blessing. Yeah. And so when people say, how do we feel about it? You know, how can we not be joyous? How can we not be excited? No.
You know, Chad, we have so many conversations here on Baby Brunch of moms and dads that can't have. Yeah. Oh, my word, my heart is bleeding. And more recently, this episode hasn't come out yet. We had a conversation with a mommy who has put her body and her family, because they really wanted to, through 18 IVFs, you know. So when I hear that we've got twins in the room, I'm grateful. It feels like it's my kids that I can raise, you know. I feel very grateful. I'm really emotional about your journey, but I've always felt that way about you and your story. Yeah. I know we don't see each other often, but when I see you, I feel like I'm seeing a testimony, you know. And so we are extremely happy for you guys. And so, you know, I only wrote down 5 questions, and one of it is, what's important to you as a father?
For me, it's presence. And, you know, when you get blessed with an opportunity to be a father, I think understanding that it was an opportunity and a blessing, you know, and it's an honor to be the father to my kids. It's not only duty and all these other things, it's an honor. And it's not always easy. You navigate things together. You don't know some things, but like you have this opportunity. And I think for me, that is the most important thing as a father, to be present and understand that we have this and we can only guide and build foundations, you know, because essentially our kids will go off and do their own thing. So the important thing is to listen and to be able to build the foundation.
The other question I have relates to affirmations, you know. Women always has this desire, like even in Women's Month, we're like, oh, we need to feel enough, you know, and then we launch all these beautiful affirmations, and it's actually something that Parent and Baby Brunch is considering, because there's not many affirmations that says affirmations for men, you know. It feels like it's like the word affirmation is female, right? Yeah. So my question is, how do you know as a guy that you are thriving?
I think it's in the fruits of your labor. I don't look at myself ever and say, wow,
I'm
I'm thriving. I think I look around me.
Yeah.
I look around me and I look at the people around me. I look at the people in my home. I look at my parents. I look at the impact that I'm able to make in communities, the impact I'm able to make with music. You know, you get feedback sometimes. You know, Chad, the song helped me get through a very tough moment, or we saw you guys perform somewhere, or oh, I listened to the radio show. I was really having a down day and that turned it around for me. It's I think you realize that you're thriving by the impact on the people around you.
What do you do when you are not thriving, and what do you do about it?
I think you just, unfortunately for me, the way I see it is I just try and keep going. And that is not always healthy. But I also knowing the things that fuel you when things aren't well.
What fuels you?
Going for a run. Yeah. I don't do it as often as I should. But there's a sense of therapy within movement and exercise, whether you're in a high intensity class and you're on the treadmill fighting for your life. There's just a beauty in that space, knowing that exercise is me time for me personally. So my wife knows. She'll be like, Chad, I think you need to go play some soccer. Because I can feel you getting a bit, this last 2 weeks you haven't played soccer or you haven't gone for a run. I can feel you need to go for one.
What do you call that moment when you go for a run? Like we would have said it's our or it's my moment, or it's my me time, self-care.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of self-care. You know, self-care I think takes different forms. You used to always be, oh, you must go to the spa, you must. Now, God, there, go take a run on the Sea Point Promenade.
Forest.
Forest, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. My garden.
Do you put a cap on?
No.
Okay.
I just walk.
You go.
I run.
Okay.
No one can catch me.
Okay. Obviously, like I didn't see you at the Two Oceans.
No, I passed you.
I was like,
back.
was that Ilana now? Was that just?
I mean, but did you hear me? Did you hear this? Yum.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned.
It was me.
Now that you mentioned.
It was me passing you. Okay, the similarities between football and parenting.
Oof.
Okay, so how do you warm up before a soccer match?
You'd maybe go for a jog and then stretch and just make sure you've taken care of every muscle. So I guess that would be preparing our kids for something that is about to happen.
Or preparing self.
Preparing self for something that's going to happen with them. I think, you know, we try and see around the corners.
Is the game predictable?
No.
Is parenting predictable?
Certain parts. I think there are certain non-negotiables.
Like what?
Right from wrong. It sounds subjective, but there are certain. Okay, you know, with our daughters, manners, greeting, saying please and thank you. One thing I admire about Summer is that
Your daughter.
my daughter, my eldest daughter, she can be annoyed with me right now, and we will bump into Auntie Ilana, and she will stand up and she will say, good afternoon, how are you? You know, no matter how, manners are never tainted. And that is, I think little things like that are non-negotiables for me.
So interesting you say. So my eldest, from me, I have 4 kids and I always call them all my babies. So my eldest is 10. And as ek al berisp, like when I discipline her, she also says thank you. It's the weirdest thing. And it makes me instantly want to laugh because I would say to her, we don't do like that.
Yeah.
We don't. And she'll say, thank you, mommy. Oh. And at that point, I just want to burst out laughing.
You want to burst out laughing, but you have to be tough, so you walk away.
You were going to say something.
I was going to say with preparation, I had a conversation with my eldest daughter where she had moved from primary school to high school, but 2 different schools. And the school that she moved to was very focused on sport and academics. They had a lot of national players and top 10 students and so forth. And I told her, look, the team you were in at primary school, being captain of this particular team, you are probably going to have a different experience when you get to high school. And I tried to prepare for that.
Right.
And it happened so.
It's different.
And she was ready for it. And she was ready for it. Instead of saying, you're the best, you're going to be the captain of every team you walk into, I could see it. And things that she's the best at, I will also tell her. Because I grew up in a household where my mom would tell me I'm the best. I would sing and she'd be like, you're the best, do it again. I'd make a joke, she'd be like, that was so funny, my boy. Say it again. I'd make it again, she'd laugh, and she'd say it one more time. And when I got into music, she would say, well, Chad, you're going to have a successful career. And I was like, Mommy, but I'm just starting out. I don't know what I'm doing. She's like, no, you're the best.
You're the best.
She gave my demo to Lee Downs.
Oh, my word. Was it a cassette?
It was a CD, and I was on a judging panel with Lee Downs. I had one song I recorded. One song.
What was the song?
The song, it was called Invitation. It was like a reggae.
Glad you guys asked, and now Chad will sing the song Invitation as he did.
Wow, how does it go?
It was burnt on CD, so I thought Chad was my age. That's why I said cassette, but then I misstepped. And
no,
so
we put the
now
facts in
my
there.
little brother Chad will tell you which song he burnt on CD. It was played with Lee Downs, and now he has the privilege of doing that audition for Baby Brunch.
Oh.
5, 6, 7.
I got this invitation for you, baby. Do you wanna go down? Something like that. I think it was like that.
You just made that up.
No, that was
Really? Was that the song?
Yeah.
You should. Was it your song?
It was a reggae song, and it was only a reggae song because I met this guy and he said I have a studio, and I got there and they were all Rastas and everyone was like, oh, we make reggae. I was like, oh, okay. And he said, here's the music, and then
They couldn't make any other music. It's like, you will make reggae.
Yeah. And I said, okay, cool. And then he sent me the music and I went to go write the song. And then I have one CD, one song. I'm at a judging competition and my mom says, my mom's there with me. She drove me there. I'm young. So she sees Lee Downs. I said, Mommy, it's Lee Downs. I mean, this is a superstar at this point.
Where was it? In Cape Town?
It was in Cape Town.
Can you remember the venue?
No. Somewhere in the southern suburbs. A mall.
Okay.
And she says, well, you have to give your CD to him. I said, no, Mommy, what if, no, the song is not mastered, you know. My mom says, come here. Takes it out. She walks over to him.
Out of her handbag.
She walks straight to him. She said, hi, Lee Downs. My name is Sandy Saaiman. This is my son, Chad. He's going to be the best. This is his song. This is the Saturday. And I am sweating. And I say, Mommy,
Invitation.
yeah. For you, baby.
Yeah.
Do you want to get down?
Down. Yeah.
Right? And then you'll never guess what happens. That Monday morning, my phone rings. Hey, Chad, Lee Downs here. We are live.
Yeah, we are live.
We are live on P4, and we are about to play your song.
Shut up. You're going to make me Sandy? What have you done?
And that is the start of my music career.
They played you on P4.
Yeah. Big moment.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And we were all home that morning. We turned the hi-fi up.
What day was it?
Monday. Because I'd seen him the Saturday. I'm just getting done, doing my normal thing. I get this phone call. And
God bless our mothers, man.
And yeah, that's it. Like, if I think of my mom preparing me, she prepared me for my career. Yeah. You know, she prepared me for the fact that I need to be confident in the space, because I wasn't. You know, and she also listened to me. She, you know, and you know, I don't take anything away from my dad. My dad is is like the compass, the moral compass, punctual, never out of line, sure. And I learned a lot from him when it came to being professional. My mom is a success story, but also a maverick, never on time. Maverick. She's like, but I needed to do this and do that. And I think, you know, as parents, we know that influences happen all around, and each one has a role. Choosing schooling as best as possible is important, because kids will be around school more than sometimes at home in the day. And whatever opportunity I have to influence my kids, I'm going to do the best to do so. And it's not always by what I say.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a smaller percentage of what I say. It's what I do. So we go out there and we do our best.
When life gives you that red card in that soccer match,
Yeah.
how do you recover, man?
Sure. It comes with the territory. I think we watch people growing up. I never saw my parents or aunties and uncles take a moment to be like, this was sad, this was tough, let me deal. No one dealt with things when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Because there was no time, because they had to go to work to provide. So we've had to change the narrative, recode ourselves to understand that when you go through something and you get a red card, take the moment. Take a moment if you can, whether it is to just be sad. If there's a friend you chat to, we always get taught, I'm a man, I gotta just keep going. No, I don't care. But unfortunately, that can catch up with you. And then you might become unavailable when you need it. So I think my advice to self and anyone else is try and take the moment to deal with that, the step back to be able to move forward.
What happens when you score the goal?
Another thing we don't get taught is to take that moment to celebrate. Why is it always, I need a moment, this was so tough, something bad happened. But when something good happens, it happens on the Sunday, the Monday, you go back to normal. Lean into the good things that happen too. We try and have small, celebrations if Summer does well at school, if my wife has something that goes well. Whether it's a cake, whether it's, something special, going somewhere, or no matter how small it is, it's about understanding that we have to just, even for an hour, make a big deal about something that went well.
What's the one quote that you can quote right now, and it can be something that you either live by or that you've created?
Oof. Let me just go to my quote book quickly over here.
You can make it up.
Can I make it up?
Yes, you can make it up.
Well, I think I have so many of them, but my favorite that I stand by when it comes to, because I'm a worker bee, I work. I've always worked and worked hard at things. But the quote that I have is, make a living, living. Which means, go out there and do your job, but live life, Let life be the job we do, and we're fortunate to be a small percentage of people who really wake up in the morning and love what they do. It's quite a rare thing. If you look around the world, everyone is like, oh, another day. I wake up and I'm like, wow, I get to do this, Ilana. I get to sit here with you and, have a moment.
At home.
Yeah, make a living living.
Yeah, no, for sure. Today I lived, I must tell you. Today I lived. Oh, wow. Look into camera and give a beautiful message to your wife.
To my wife.
Yes.
First and foremost, thank you for all the things you do. Thank you for the support you give me, even when you don't know that it is support that you're giving me. Whether it's saying, go for a run, whether it's just giving me a little quick 1-minute back rub. Thank you for, sometimes being the eyes in the blind spots. And thank you for being on this journey with me. And we choose each other. We never believed that 2 halves became 1. We believe that, 2 ones became 2. So thank you.
This is Baby Branch. Invitation.